a Halloween special of Folklore Explorer. The Ghosts of Naseby. Power that never dies. Northamptonshire. At first glance, nothing unusual. Just fields and hedgerows, green slopes rolling into the horizon. A church spire pricks the skyline, where sheep drift along the ridges. Stay a while, especially as the evening mist gathers and the land begins to speak. The ground roils and moves. It appears to be restless here. Uneven patches scarred by a somewhat long past. And then listen. And in the silence you start to hear the sound of the dull boom of distant cannon fire. The sound of horses' hooves thundering across the grass. Men shouting, screaming at each other to hold fast. And the wheel and whirl of shadows moving in the corner of your eye. This happens because Naseby remembers, and Naseby will not let us forget. The night before. On the night before the battle, King Charles I lodged at Daventry in the Wheatsheaf Inn, which still stands. But legend says he was not alone. In the firelight appeared the shade of Thomas Wentworth, Earl of Strafford, his loyal adviser, who had been executed at Parliament's demand 4 years before. The Earl of Strafford gave a warning. "Do not march to Naseby, sir. Turn away. Save your crown." But Charles ignored the counsel of the dead, and at dawn he rode out towards his ruin. On the morning of the 14th of June, 1645, there were clear skies over Northamptonshire. Sir Thomas Fairfax, who commanded the new model army, a disciplined professional force, which were drilled and hardened for the war, stood by Oliver Cromwell, who was leading his Ironsides, men aflame with faith. Across the ridges they could see the King's army braced, Prince Rupert charging around, scattering Parliament's left flank, royalist cheers rising across the field. For a moment it seemed as though victory was with the King. But Cromwell wheeled his cavalry, iron discipline holding fast. The Ironsides thundered forward, cutting through the royalist flank with ruthless precision. By day's end, the King's forces lay broken. Thousands were dead, the baggage train seized, letters captured, proof of Charles' secret dealings with foreign powers, the letdown of his own people, it was thought. The war was not over, but the cause was lost, and Naseby was the decision point. But Naseby did not grow quiet. Travellers tell the soldiers glimpsed on moonlit lanes, boots and leather jerkins, carts creaking under invisible weight, only to vanish in an instant. Late-night walkers tell of musket fire echoing across Broadmoor. Of armies clashing in the sky. In 1949, two cyclists stopped in horror. They saw ragged figures trudging along the road ahead. But when they turned to look, they realised that the figures had dissolved into thin air. I ask you to listen closer, and you will soon know these are not just royalist ghosts. No, amongst them marches the new model army, Fairfax's men, Cornwall's Ironsides. They won here. They believed they had reshaped the kingdom. But what did they see when the smoke cleared? The same lords and the same gentry, the same spine of power, bending but never breaking. The king executed, yet the monarchy was restored. Their dream of a new order was soured into the old order, wearing a different mask, and so their spirits turn, march restless along the battle site. Around and round they march, because nothing truly changed. Fairfax, disillusioned, withdrew. When Cromwell seized the rein of powers, and after him and his death, the crown returned to those who held it before. The gentry, as I said, remained. The landowners endured. The structures of wealth, law, and property were never broken. The spine beneath the royal crown had flexed, but it had not snapped. "21 years later, and the flames lit London. The Great Fire of 1666 consumed the heart of the city. People saw churches, homes, halls reduced to ash, including the great St. Paul's. Yet from the ashes rose something new, a London rebuilt in stone and commerce, a city remade for the bankers, for the money. The monarchy returned, but it is believed that the true throne belongs to money. And the fire did not end that spine of power, it hardened it like steel. Come back to the fields of Naseby, you may still hear them, the tramp of boots across Broadmoor, the roll of ghostly drums along Solby hedges, cannon fire where there is no cannon. The restless new model army still marching on, not celebrating victory and not celebrating peace because it never came to them. They march because their battle changed not a thing. They march because power never changed. They march because the spine of the gentry of money endures, unseen but unbroken. And every June and every cold October night, they turn and turn again, through mist, through centuries, through earth that remembers, marching forever, because the power never died. Thank you for listening to this Halloween or Samhain special, and if you would like to make any comments, do comment below or send me an email or comment on social media. It's info@thedandelion.moon.co.uk. Thank you.